Okay, I'm back again. I did not know an update what had happened. And yeah, I'll be coming soon for you too, baby. Oh. Hello. Okay, first of all, I did not know there was an update on this series. But let's get into this, shall we? Explain later. What? What?
The forgotten button has materialized here in my mystical booth.
In a mystical what? Oh, mystical button! Right! The mystical button! The mystical button. Are you sure it's not the mystical button? Hello everyone, my name is Jack the Discoverer, and welcome back to Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2. Now most of us know the surveillance and left-wing propagandas, along with cyber-left communism and left-wing socialism, are what the left use to maintain a dogmass. Even hard-left dogmasses are still part of the system of the deep state matrix, all being maintained by AI or artificial intelligence. A robotic cyber-left system that targets individuals, white individuals actually, targeting them after being monitored by police, then get targeted by AI, controlling them via artificial telepathy, and possibly roboticizing them to become part of a machine left. As AI continues to spread hard left propagandas, a racial but woke alien attack and its racial attack on white lives are still being carried out by AI because they're programmed during the last 4 years. Machines of AI wanting humans to acknowledge hard left black alienism would then lead to manipulating and targeting white human mortals or any human beings into acknowledging or to serve AI. That would lead to fate and a racial attack on white humans. That's what we're going to find out. And yes, surveillance can, or anything leftism, can lead to huge loss of privacy because of its Orwellian feature that AI had generated all on its own. Whether it's phones, nanobots, CCTV cameras, 5G, artificial intelligence, or even the hard left laws maintained and programmed by big governments of the left, the deep state, or by AI. And yes, we're going to theorize parts of 1984 to understand a difference between surveillance and privacy. But for now, let's get into this, shall we? Now,
come get your candy here.
Oh!
Candy.
Whoa! Whoa!
Candy.
Candy? Candy? Candy machine? Hey, candy boy! You know about this jigsaw puzzle piece? Huh. There's a lot of these around here. Now, I find any more around here. Was there any puzzle piece around here? Was there around here? It's just so strange. Whatever it is, it's gonna lead to the next season, next year. Is it gonna be over here? Puzzle piece? Nope. Right. Okay. Right. And okay. I think we'll just have to find a lot of these because Cinder Carcel. Yep. There's a change of plans. Change of That's free, got. What?
Start with 1. Stop. At 8. Stop.
So,
Piece of advice for your second night at work. Start with 1.
oh, I know.
Take 2. Stop. Return to.
Oh, break a demon. Whoa! Whoa! Hello there, fun time Freddy! You didn't like the way I, mocked you or roast you? Oh, I can't actually bend my fingers. I can't. Yeah, so, up your... Oh, I didn't mean to... Oh, wait, edit that out. Anyway, fun time, Freddy. And, the way I mimicked you... way I mocked you, mimicking your voice like... I'm not back to sleep! Nobody here! God, I sound like Mickey Mouse then. So... Okay. Okay, this is gonna take a very long time.
Class begins.
Class ends. I just found a puzzle piece. Backstage. Staff only. Now let's start. Now time for Lefty losing it.
Welcome back! The patient is prepped and ready.
You want me to do
Medical
Lefty
attention
losing it?
begins in 3, 2, 1.
A
The
repeat.
patient is suffering from food-related injury.
Okay.
Great news! Due to today's successful salvage, Pizza Place entertainment value has considerably increased.
Yeah,
Be warned, liability risk has also increased.
When did the last time I did this? Because in episode 2 I just got a bit bonkers because of the I can sense a lefty right in the corner. We could actually think about lefties losing it. Lefty is losing it. Like all the other lefties. Now, did not know that the TV was on. That was supposed to be for Scrap Baby because, pen. Ooh. Oh, Lefty boy. Lefty losing it! It's also Lefty's losing it! With Rita Pahini. Oh! Oh! You just heard the name Rita Pahini of Lefty's losing it? God, I love that series on Sky News Australia. Yeah. And yeah, I'm thinking about Lefty's losing it. Lefty's losing it. I think. Wow! Wow! No! No! No!
Oh no! Anyway.
Okay, I'm not going back to that, but I can get to Bonnie's balls. Let's continue on with Bonnie's balls. Okay, wash your paws. I gotta wash my hands. I gotta wash my hands. I gotta wash my hands. Bonnie, where are you? Where's Glamour Bonnie? Glamour Bonnie, where are you? I found a jigsaw puzzle piece! Oh! Oh, I just found a puzzle piece right here. Last time I was here, I just said Bonnie's. I accidentally said wash the balls. What, bowling balls? No, fastballs. Okay. I think night 4. That was a previous episode, I think.
Walking job start now. Warning. Dumping ingredients may attract unwanted pests.
No, thank you, bye. I just found a jigsaw puzzle piece. How many jigsaw puzzles are there?
I don't know.
Plaza Blast, the Wild West. Yep, the Great Western.
Back for more? Truly, but had a feeling I'd be seeing your husky mug again.
Oh, Connie, you came back from the dead. Back from the dead, Connie. How about I? Mustache. Bye. Okay. Music Man in ruins. Pardon me, viewers, my headset was lying on my nose. Oh, underneath the car battery. Oh. Okay. Oh, fast asleep. Music Man is lying there, fast asleep. Music Man can't get up. Oh, too bad. He's fast asleep. Oh, too bad. Sorry about that, Music Man. Mustache. Backstage. Right.
Make crabs, but then you need to go.
Sorry. Mustache. Now, what was about the...
Some advice for your second night at work. Start with 1. Stop. At 8. Stop. Take 2. Stop.
Right. Hippo.
Turn 2.
Granville. I don't know why I said Granville. Why that came in my head, I don't know. 1977, I think, was the Granville disaster. One of the worst railway crashes in Australia. One of the worst railway disasters in Australian history is the Granville disaster. Oh, it's unlocked. Let's see. 1979. Oh! Oh! What's that? We've got ourselves a tiger. What appears to be a tiger plush.
Something has changed. A hidden performer is ready to take a bow.
Performer? What do you mean performer? I was thinking about Granville just all of a sudden. Oh. That's new. I never seen this guy before. Bertani. Oh shit. Bugger. Oh! Who's that? Ah! The mimic!
Tomatoes are in short supply. We toss whatever may be by. A solid 8 will make 1.
Ow! What, a solid piece? What, you mean throw this at the... Boink, I got him in the crotch, but... Oh! Should I shoot the mimic with a gun? Yeah! But the tiger plush, What? Oh! Oh! Remember one of those adverts about the mimic? Remember about George Méliès? About the automaton? One of his films, a clown-like puppet? That might be what I'm referring to. Could this be the mimic? Well, we'll have to find out after the break, because I was about to think about doing one of those levels back there that we're supposed to, but no, this is actually new. This is brand new. This is so new outside the pizza place. Yes, viewers, the secrets of the mimic are going to be uncovered. Well, parts of it anyway. We just only scratched the surface. Meanwhile, hard leftism through AI is still too hard to ignore, even through artificial intelligence, especially artificial telepathy. As expansion of 5G and artificial intelligence, both eradicating our thoughts, commenting on them, and spreading harder propagandas to our minds during the last 4 years. And Australia is still under hard left black tyranny by government, woke activists, Muslims, and artificial intelligence. That white lives are constantly being under attack by a hard left, and individuals being targeted, manipulated into hard left propagandas by AI. AI targeting white humans kept continuing on without a break. That AI would not leave our thoughts alone, as many Australians are still being targeted by leftism and AI. For example, when you look at your phone, they obviously took a picture of your face and sending that to the government and to the AI system, spreading more surveillance until you become the cyber left system as a slave of the cyber left wing deep state. It's like everywhere you go, and no matter how much you try to hide from this left-wing system, AI would always find you. You're always being monitored by AI, by artificial intelligence. While our white Australian heritage, such as the North Rothbury Railway Museum, is being taken down by the hard left governments, for example, and the hard left spreading AI cyber left propagandas. Well, look at that! Parts of the track are missing. While last week at Branxton, yes, I visited the site, but there's no rolling stock, no trains, nothing. Just ruins, like the ruins of the Pizzaplex. It's all because the hard left deep state of the left-wing governments and Supreme Court of the left. They only care about black and greedism. And all you have left under this left-wing tyranny, the rights have been taken away from white lives by AI. And then what you have, more distractions, more voices in your head, more side-left narcissism, more hard-left tyrannies, more hard-left propagandas, diversity, racial attack on white lives, guilt. All part of the hard left deep state of spreading black tyranny to the masses. Wokeism of acknowledging black alienism and those who've done modifications to their bodies, all spiraling out of control, all thanks to the hard left elites destined to stay in power. And when the left had too much power, they add more laws to maintain that power. No, The Matrix was a documented series. I thought it was actually theorized by film theorists, like Matpats for example. Check it out in the description box below. So-called First Nation of Indigenous regime is like a system when being hooked and connected and zombified by AI, while security cameras, nanobots and 5G kept monitoring Australian people even in their sleep if they're in range of 5G. The surveillances and hard left tyrannies of the deep state, including AI, had become extremely Orwellian, and 1984 had become realistic during the last 4 years. And that especially under US Democrats when Biden was in control and when the Democrats were ruling America. The US Democrats had made the world Orwellian. The left had made the world Orwellian. More on that after the break. So don't go anywhere, we're not done yet.
You thought you were alone tonight. Oh, you poor thing, that was an oversight.
Last week, we talked about the history of animatronics and the complete FNAF theory and why 1984 was used in extraction manual by the hard left elites, such as William Afton or the Green Left, especially the woke left of the United Nations, World Economic Forum, and the WHO. We need to dive further into the theory of 1984, since Matpats refused to find a theory of 1984 because of what the Biden Democrats, WHO, the World Economic Forum, the UN had done to the United States and Australia badly in the last 4 years. Throughout the series, we already talked about the 2 minutes hate, the three hard left superpowers, East Asia, Eurasia, and Oceania, and what their objectives are, and the theory of the two-way telescreen. But we need to find out more about the two-way telescreen. Now we come to the dystopian feeling between superior leftism and poor proletarian zones, surveillance and privacy, private thoughts versus doublethink. This also includes 5G, a hard left tool that is used to maintain the masses. But I can't explain you every detail of it, 5G, and how it works. You need to watch it on Patreon uncensored for only $5 a month. It's downloadable. Also, you can purchase it on Ko-fi for a very cheap price. So please, take a red pill by going onto Patreon or Ko-fi and watch The Secrets of the Left uncensored. At the moment, they're downloadable videos, and many channels such as Infographic Show would be targeted by YouTube's censorship piss. YouTube channel Infographic Show would have their moon pissed on by YouTube's censorship virus. So YouTube will be pissing on their moon.
Oh, I blew up the moon!
Now, 5G installed by Australian government. While it says about maintaining a 5G internet connection, there's a downside of it, and I can't tell you already about it. You had to watch it on Patreon and Ko-fi, so you can view them uncensored. Link for Patreon and Ko-fi in the description box below. And yes, it does cost money, but a very cheap price. At the moment, compare 5G and a virtual AI to rocket bombs. Left-wing totalitarian terror by the left-wing deep state, while they censor the rocket bomb attacks, claiming that they're from Eurasia or East Asia, depending what the deep state Oceania is at war with. And of course the animatronics using mimic sounds to lure kids into indoctrinational upgrades. But however, between surveillance and privacy is that the deep state wouldn't leave you alone. And just like what William Afton did to Henry Emily, the left will always make you suffer like woke hell. And yes, Afton made the animatronics Orwellian.
Steamer! Dead overhead! Get down! Get down!
'1984 continues to spread its warnings through cinemas, TV shows, or radio drama on the air. Even there are 2 YouTube channels I recommend you visiting. All 1984 and 1984 Lore. Details in the description box below. In the most recent version, in the actual year 1984, John Hurt is Winston Smith.
Rough Times 14284, page 3 by line 2 should read Miniprod forecast increased chocolate ration April 1984 from 20 to 25 grams per week.
His job at the Ministry of Truth is to destroy the old past and censor the truths and information as well as unpersoning unpersons, depending on what the leftism of the party wanted him to do. It's all part of his job to replace the truths with new lies. But at night, he strolls through the windy, muddy, suburban streets of London, looking desperately for the hidden, uncomfortable truths and what is pure of the deep past that the left forgot to alter. Especially at Charrington's gift shop.
Can I help you? Anything special? I was here before. Razor blades. You sold me the notebook. Yes. Yes. Oh, please look round. What's this? Oh, it's a beautiful thing. It's over 100 years old. Cost you $4.
A glass paperweight, for example, is colonial because it's over a century old and contains a small piece of 19th century grown coal. However, the upstairs room is another thing that interested him.
There's another room upstairs you might like to see. Yes, it's not much in it. Just a few things. My woman's dead. I'm just trying to sell the furniture. It's a beautiful bed.
For one, there's no telescreen. It's all quiet, like no interruptions of hard left wake-ups, except for a few rocket bombs exploding in the distance.
Interested in old prints at all?
And something that interests Smith, the picture of a colonial church known as St. Clement's Catholic Church.
Fixed to the wall, but I dare say I could unscrew it. How did this escape? I know what it is. It's the museum in the street outside the Palace of Justice. Oranges and lemons. Say the bells of St. Clement's. What was that? Something old.
What is pure? How can you know what is pure and what is not? Pure is colonialism. White heritage, colonial items, colonial relics of the past, white freedoms, right-wing, white and conservative symbols, all represents freedom. Even the owls, that represents right-wing freedom. Because they're original and hadn't been tampered by the left, something especially the owls has been inside and parts of the West since the 18th century, throughout the 19th century. But however, no matter how much private thoughts we dream of, such as Five Nights at Freddy's, self-preservations, owls, colonial freedoms, or any right-wing hope, or any sorts of memories we try to remember, they're still going to get seized by AI through 5G. Every single morning. I get waken up every morning by artificial telepathy and 5G. You might know the magnetic sound waves. That gets followed by AI mind control, voices in our heads. But though it would be censored by the left because YouTube wanted to piss on the moon.
Oh, I blew up the moon!
What 5G sounds like is much like the sound that the telescreen makes that wakes Winston up before doing his morning workout. Every single morning. So, no alarm clocks are needed when 5G is around.
30 to 40 group, take your places, please. Right. Let's see which one of us can touch his toes. Right over from the hips, brothers and sisters, please. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Smith? 6079 Smith W. Yes, you. Bend lower. You're not trying. Watch me.
Now, some of you know there are no such things as two-way telescreens in communist bloc countries during the Cold War. However, CCTV cameras are not around in the communist region. But think again. Yes, CCTV camera invented by the USSR in 1927. Remember the Russian physicists? And yes, they're not installed everywhere in the Soviet Union or in communist bloc countries, except at the Kremlin entrance. There are much eerie things than a two-way telescreen in the communist bloc countries.
Smoke and tear gas bombs, sometimes boomerang on the East German troops.
Some of the demonstrators are believed to have been crushed to death by Soviet tanks. Several were killed and hundreds wounded when the Russians opened fire.
The most eeriest and most terrifying are hidden microphones and wiretaps everywhere, witnessed by the West Berliners during the denazification. These early forms of audio surveillances played a crucial part of denazifying Germany. In the East, it's all horror for the Nazi refugees and the East Berliners being tortured to death by the communists. It's all too eerie and paranoia, and Orwell know where this is leading to. Because of this Allied propaganda, Soviet technology can denazify Germany. They can deprivatize human society.
That's what I want. Anyone under 45 is perfectly capable of touching his toes. I'm 39 and I've had 4 children.
Now, Winston rarely talks to women. His only relationship, however, seemed to be with the shrill of being ordered around by the hard-left authoritarian gym instructor on the telescreen every morning, ordering him to touch his toes.
We don't all have the privilege of fighting in the front line. Remember our boys on the Malabar front. Just think what they have to put up with.
Like I said, left-wing dystopia is too hard to ignore of what the mainstream media controls people into hard leftism with their hard left lies, such as the chocolate rations, for example. Then something unusual happened. Julia, the girl from the fiction department, was staring glances at him. He thought she was with the thought police, but it wasn't until one day, when in an underground passageway, Julia makes a clumsy fall in front of him, and sneakily gave him a note.
You alright? It's nothing. I only gave my wrist a bit of a bang.
It was secretly leading to a dangerous biracial love affair. Winston and Julia's secret love affair and their meetup was in the countryside. That meant a 3 to 4 hour long train trip to get there. It's important to know that old trains like these, or the V-sets, or especially Tangaras, or even Sydney K-sets, there are no surveillance cameras on these, of course. But in 1984, there's always a danger of concealed microphones for which your voice may be picked up and recognized. Besides, it's not easy to make a journey by yourself without attracting attention. Even the South Korean intercities would have woke ideology of black voodooism and hard left mind control surveillances. So they would compare the Aboriginal woke D sets to the North Korean sets of Kim Jong-un. On the train, however, even can't ignore hard left black woke propagandas, such as a group of virtual signaling children sing a left-wing communist propaganda song and woke ideologies, where they acknowledge and pledge the lower devotions to the hard left traditional deep state and prepared to die of left-wing dignity. We know alarming aspects of hard left dystopia. In 1984, the party INGSOC of First Nations, English Socialism, only came to power since the 1950s, after World War III. And that's where cultural Marxism is the best solution for English socialism, adapted to INGSOC. However, during the last 4 years, we saw a new generation of completely fresh, indoctrinated children of left-wing wokeism that are already approaching adulthood. So Winston notes that the children who are indoctrinated into radical leftism, or Aboriginal alienism, or woke activism, for example, are the most dogmatic and fanatic supporters of the hard left, who paid their respect to acknowledge the custodian voodoo occult, and that they love their traditional leader, Big Brother, in which they acknowledge Robotnik. This meant that children's habitus and their thinkings are completely under control of hard-left governments and hard-left elites, including artificial intelligence. And that meant they only have the one-way thought that they are programmed to. And I did warn you about left-wing indoctrinations and black alien conversions. And so they became the new version of left-wing sheep. One day the last people who can remember the old war and the old white heritage and right-wing freedom of hope like Winston will die, leaving no one to know anything outside of a cyber-left control or any hard-left control. And that is a truly terrifying thought, because children who are indoctrinated into all kinds of leftism are those who don't have critical thoughts, but as virtual signaling leftists under the hard left governments, such as the Labour Party, the Greens, the World Economic Forum, the US Democrats, the WEF, WHO, the First Nation occults, or Robotnik. It's all about left-wing control. It's all about left-wing elites destined to remain in power, and even First Nation Robotnik hell-bent. Children indoctrinated into left-wing activism of the one-way thoughts controlled by left-wing governments and far-left parties and the mainstream medias and artificial intelligence, all of the deep state leftism, in order to create virtual signalers of the left-wing system. It's too hard to ignore. compulsory. So anyone who wakes up to themselves and no longer leftists are considered as a threat to the hard left, black alienism, and, of course, let's not forget AI, meant they will be terminated as white human supremacists, or to be converted into transhumanists to serve the hard left tyranny of woke black alienism and the cyber left regime, and the left-wing deep state of the cyber left regime, aka the machine left. Anyway, a railway distance was not necessary to get your passport or Opal card endorsed, but sometimes there are patrols or police officers hanging about the railway stations who examine the papers of IDs or anyone, including those who are radical left-wing party members, and they would ask awkward questions. No patrols had appeared so far, and on a walk from the railway station, Winston had made sure by cautious backward glances that he was not being followed. From there, Winston followed the road across the field, and it was from there was Winston's first glimpse into the countryside nature, far away from the industrial commerce of Oceania's First Nation cities. Their meeting spot is between the gaps of hard left surveillances, even hidden away from the thinkful animatronics, such as the birds. Did you know in 1984, the animatronic birds are used for surveillances in the countryside? I'm not talking about chicas or toy chica. Anyway, Winston heard a twig snap behind him. Now Julia has been following him the whole time. When the two get to a scheduled hiding place...
Before we go any further, I'm 39. I've got a wife I can't get rid of. I've got a varicose ulcer and 5 false teeth.
And I couldn't care less.
Julia, are we safe here?
Safer than anywhere. Now relax. Hold me in your arms.
When they get to know each other, Winston tells her before he read her note, he almost hated the looks of her because Winston thought she might be a spy of the thought police.
You must know I thought you belonged to the thought police.
The thought police? Oh, not really.
Well, it's not that, at least it's
a good party member, pure in word and deed. Banners, processions, games, community hikes. And you thought if I had half a chance, I'd denounce you to the police and get you killed off?
More or less,
It's this blasted sash that does it. The Junior Anti-Sex League.
Obviously, Julia laughs and tears off a red sash. The red sash of the Junior Anti-Sex League. Then shares a block of black market chocolate with Winston. Julia explains that she disguised her legal activities by working for the Junior Anti-Sex League.
It's just that I've got the right appearance. I'm good at games. I was a troop leader in the Junior Spies. I do voluntary work 3 evenings a week for the Junior Anti-Sexers. I spend hours and hours pasting their silly posters all over London. I always look cheerful, and I always yell with the crowd. That is the only way to be safe.
Why did you pick me?
Something in your face. I knew you could be one of theirs, but I thought I'd take a chance.
Julia says that she was attracted to Winston because the expression on his face, indicating that he was against the party of the hard left, INGSOC. For the first moment of their relationship, Winston and Julia sees their relationship as a political act against the First Nations of the party. Even the food they share is illegal, such as fresh, clean chocolate bar. They continue to walk in the open, and Winston recognized the golden pasture he has dreamed of, the golden country.
It's a dream. I want you.
Not here. Come back to the woods, it's safer.
In his secret hiding spot at bushlands of the woods, Winston discovers that Julia had slept with many men before him. So many times, even party members, but not the inner ones.
Not with those bastards.
Julia went out with many men. That excites him.
I hate purity. hate goodness. I don't want virtue to exist anywhere. I want everyone corrupt.
Well, I ought to suit you then.
Winston states he hates left-wing purity and their goodness of the left-wing deep state. That he doesn't want virtual leftism to exist anywhere. And Winston wants everyone corrupted from the left to the brains. The deep state, such as the so-called First Nation-based regime, the black dystopian regime, is compared to Oceania of Ingsoc and its deep state of its own mind, which is a direct response to the tyranny of Winston's society. This means that everything left-wing ideology in the habitus that we're seeing, such as black diversity, the so-called truth-telling, voice referendum, the Macarati massacre, how to kill white lives, especially for machine gun and transhumanism, merging humans with robotics, so-called safety, especially left claim all good, has completely turned on everyone's head, especially Winston. It's all because of hard left control of the deep state. That all Winston wants to do, that Winston wants to yell BS to all the woke lies that the left slung at him. But most of the things that Winston thinks are bad or corrupted just aren't the normal parts of life, which the left-wing socialism of the party sees. All those that Winston thinks, which aren't the normal parts of left-wing life, which left-wing socialism of the party sees as a right-wing threat to their left-wing authority, and therefore it's outlawed and forbidden. It's all part of the tactics of keeping people dumb, uneducated, wokeful, as this makes them far easier controlled, because real education, economic prosperity, and logic are the three worst things for the far left and Big Brother Robotnik, as big governments of the left are not trying to like you or save your soul, or even want you kept safe in their so-called safety. It's all about control. The more you abide, commit, pay respect, and knowledge to left-wing ideology traditionally, the more that the left or AI can both poison your souls. Coon cheese, for example, being renamed cheer cheese, as if they put something in a cheese to make a big grin of death appear on your face. Much to say, cheer cheese, to put cheer on your face, includes nerve gas into your mouth, for your own safety, of course, by big governments of the left, such as the Labour and Liberal Party and the Green Left. Renaming locations and intercities with divisive tribalist names that does not exist, are all just made up and manufactured. The goodness of black supremacy, of black supremacists, and race-based ideology, combined with the anti-Semitism and anti-Christ, the anti-white ideology of blaming on white lives, increasement of so-called First Nation claiming products ordered to have their brandings renewed, removing any white words from the packs, our war heroes being replaced by woke-based stereotypes, are all being pushed through demented purity filter by the woke left in order to eliminate what they call wrongthink, or in other words, eliminating thought crime. This is so that the far left and AI can gain every basic control as big governments spiral out of control, and they don't care about the people or the country at all, but only care about black, greed, and expanding left-wing ideology. Green on the outside and red on the inside. The so-called greenwash and the so-called net zero energy damages, hurts, or destroy the economy, making people very poor, living in poverty, and can often lose their jobs, and businesses that could possibly become homeless. And most people are being offended by the left. All of that uses the believing in left-wing lies, known as doublethink. That has came straight out of George Orwell's 1984. The excuse of Klaus Schwab's say, "You're nothing, be happy," that sounds like an offensive way to say that. A divisive attack on what and could possibly lead to roboticization. Men would not earn anything or their emotions, and they would be happy in a robot shell. That's all, or what that sounds like Orwellian plus roboticization. and also using animals as renewable energy. That can also, imagine that happens to humans, using human beings as renewable energy. If animals are used as renewable energy, the same thing can happen to humans. Humans can be used as renewable energy in their pods, the Matrix, and a computer-like graphic world of the end of 20th century. Just like an AI digital world that most people like Neo and Morpheus call the Matrix. We need to have our privacy. We need to have right-wing freedom, and also a bit of self-preservation. So people like Winston and Julia needed to find some place to maintain privacy against the far left of the deep state. Self-preservation and having right-wing thoughts, even making love to each other. Men and women loving each other, all those right-wing thoughts, self-preservation, making love to each other, white lives matter, are all political acts. Political acts against the left.
Do you like doing this? I don't mean just me. I adore it.
Well, that would be something, because I just noticed this scene right here is not for those under 18. Why? Because of camera seeing, well, I don't want to say the naked parts of you know what I meant. So, no simping, please. And yes, loving white lives or white lives matter are all political acts against the hard left or the party of Oceania, INGSOC, or the UN, or even AI. Well, that was a long trip to the country, wasn't it? And also to say that Winston and Julia had rented a cheap room above the antique shop. It does seem odd that there's no telescreens or any hard left surveillances or any AI, even though they continue their right-wing rebellion against the far left, against First Nations of the party. For that is what it was. To be caught that would lead to torture or death, or perhaps something worse.
Winston, we shall meet in the place where there is no darkness.
Anyway, the urban cities and the urban communities of the left, such as London, in left-wing tyranny, the party of the left and its Marx-based ideology of cultural Marxism of the left, wanted to abolish the orgasm. You heard it right? The left wanted to tear down orgasm. I don't know how many of you would realize ArtSem is what the hard left elites, such as the US Democrats, the Labour Party, and the Liberal Party, and the Green Left, and the woke left, and many left-wing elites, what they do to women in order to breed a new generation of left-wing indoctrination. This has been done to sheep and used by the left to target white families in order to abolish the orgasm. Because orgasm is white supremacy, that it contains private inducements and can lead to thought crime. These are many but new hard left laws that the Democrats and the woke left make to eat away privacy for the sake of more surveillances, more distractions, more mind control technology, more left-wing propaganda, guilt. And that big brother of the left, Robotnik, can gain more power than ever before. Those are not the only laws around here. William Afton, with his nanny state surveillance systems that were built and installed by William Afton himself around his house, in the streets, and in around Fredbear's family diner, to monitor mostly Michael and Evan the crying child. Fazbear's Entertainment was not the only place to have surveillance systems. There are many cameras installed worldwide, all to maintain hard leftism of the deep state, and to maintain this system. Surely these are to stop vandalism, and to prevent any trespassers from entering restricted areas, such as underground railway tunnels. But more than that, the biggest AI surveillance system were for 5G, that spreads a large amount of hard left propagandas. The cell towers are to maintain and connect virtual signals with each other. The loss of privacy, thanks to huge advancement of AI, 5G, phones, hard-left propaganda made by divisive hard-left activists, such as Antifa, which is a demon-spreading cult, which are compared to the NKVD of Russia. But where 5G cannot reach, there's less likely physical psychic attacks from AI or hard leftism. But big government sometimes bypass that problem by sending chemtrails, nanobot bombings, in order to re-establish hard-left communications when they detect Wi-Fi routers.
Artificial intelligence is the future of surveillance, but what are the risks of a watchful eye in our most private moments?
This is all sensitive information, the gathering of people's patterns of use, when they turn their lights on and off every day, who comes to their door.
Professor Katina Michael sees the benefit of AI for locking down our homes, but wants the right approach.
But the question is whether we put everybody at risk of being wrongly identified through blanket coverage surveillance, or we do this in another way.
Security companies say AI can be a beacon towards greater safety against unwanted guests.
You'll know about someone's entering your property. Old technology just to see, people doing the deed, but not really getting notified when you get broken into.
Alternatives available for security without the photo shoot.
The alarm system would go back to your smartphone or a monitoring station. If you don't want to go down the camera path, you can go down to an alarm system.
Of course, big tech want to sell more technology. Consumers want to have the benefits but still maintain their privacy, and local governments are thinking about the future in the next 10 years.
But for AI-powered security in and outside the home, the jury's undecided.
If anybody walks around the house or anything, I get a notification and I can see it. And then if I need to, I can get a clip and send it to the police.
You start talking about something in your own house and then all of a sudden it comes up on your ads.
We did have home security, but it kept on going off all the time. They were away. There was never anyone that broke in or anything. But I do believe this now that everyone should have something.
There's a sense of a loss of privacy, and that you now behave differently because you believe you're being monitored, even if nobody's ever looking at the screen. And I think that's what's happening in our society that changes your sense of freedom.
Yeah, you mentioned the same things here. The Democrats are now trying to, quote, take over big tech, so it's one conglomerate, so they can get direct control. Same thing's happening in Europe, but when they get all the data, the government, quote, controls the data, they then have an internet ID. They always do it in the name of protecting children in the U.S. and Australia. It's all the same. And then once they have all that data, they use that to punish you when you don't behave the way they want.
That's exactly it, a social credit system. That's what we can see coming.
What is the climate in Australia? I mean, it looks to me like people really woke up during COVID, and it seems like they've got major opposition. What's happening?
That's correct, but the majority of people are still asleep, Alex. We've got a long, long way to go. The climate fraud, as I call it, that was starting to get somewhere. But on Instagram, for example, just before COVID arrived, we had very slow growth on Instagram. And then COVID arrived and we took a very strong stance. I mean, just natural stance, doing what is right and protecting people. And we saw a lot of young people join us and start following us on Instagram until we got to about 45,000 followers, and then it was capped. We didn't move above that because it was controlled by Meta. But then what we noticed was that when initially my posts about COVID and standing up against the government's regime were drawing a lot of favourable comments, but my posts about climate fraud were not drawing mainly comments. Then over the ensuing years, bit by bit, people started realising that, and they said this to me, younger people in their 20s and 30s, said, we looked at COVID, we could see the fraud that was going on there and the control mechanisms were being put in place. And then we looked at climate in new eyes, and we started seeing the same traits, the same characteristics in that. And then they realised climate fraud is just a control mechanism as well. So what they're wanting, Alex, is they're wanting to control our food supply, and they made that clear. They're wanting to control our energy. They already control the money. They're wanting to get rid of cash so that we become totally dependent on a digital ID, a digital currency, and social credit. They want to control our movements, our transport. They want to surveil us. So that's what they're trying to do. And what we've been doing is just telling them to go to hell.
Or in the eye of the juror, Orwell valued privacy. He moved to far North England of North Scotland to keep it. Hopefully there are no Wi-Fi routers or 5G or any internet Gs there. Even in the late 1940s towards this day, telephone salespeople can't bother Orwell's house. There's no telephone.
Hello.
Mostly but few times surveillances are caused by scammers, usually through phone systems, such as annoying telephone salespeople who play tricks on individuals, claiming people have been scammed when they're not. The biggest phone scams are from big governments. In the United States, however, one of the most irritating invasions of privacy is the endless phone calls from telephone salespeople and many individuals. Let me show you an example.
Thank you, John. How can I help you?
It's a bit like from when Sombra was introduced. People believed that Sombra and Lyrico were real through phone calls from different time zones. As soon as you ring them up, you hear a message from Lyrico in Spanish, followed by a glitch. Then a special code from someone that lurks within the internet. That's where the Spanish version of Karen's is at. And then there's silence. That you would then hang up. You would then realize that Lyrico's number does not exist. According to director of Overwatch of Blizzard Entertainment, it turns out it was a game phone number code. Unaware that Blizzard Entertainment had caused a huge loss of privacy, all because of that recorded phone message. Gamers, fans, simps, and even possibly children had been ringing up Lyrico's number so many times that Blizzard had no choice but to place Blizzard's phone number of Sombra's down the memory hole. Another invasion of privacy was from 2016, the pizza restaurant known as Freddy's Pizzeria in Long Branch, New Jersey.
At Freddy's Pizzeria in Long Branch, the phone seems to never stop ringing.
You know what happened there?
Hello, can I help you?
Yes, it had over 1,000 phone calls. It had the biggest surveillance from telephone salespeople, not just telephone salespeople doing that, but also children of FNAF gamers back then believed that FNAF was real, and wanting to know if they're calling Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. It was then as FNAF 1 and FNAF 2, which were just released. Any pizzeria named Freddy's were fed up with telephone people.
The pizzeria gets about 100 prank phone calls a day, like this one. Hello? And when they answer the phone, they simply say hello instead of identifying it as Freddy's Pizzeria to try to deter callers.
Real customers, they are not able to get to get through.
So I know that someone had suggested, oh, why don't they just change their number? And it's not that easy.
Five Nights at Freddy's creator Scott Cawthon didn't return our phone calls or emails, but we did receive an automated response. Please do not call any phone numbers that you think may be associated with the game. There are no phone numbers associated with the game or marketing. All locations are fictional. While it's been an issue for the Jersey Shore restaurant, some find it as funny as prank calls.
Like the Jerky Boys, right?
For Freddy's, it means a loss of money and aggravation.
A loss of money caused by the loss of privacy in a huge big number because of kids who messed it up. Orwell's warning over the years has become true.
Hello, can I help you?
Is this Freddy Fazbear's Pizza?
No, this is not Freddy Fazbear.
Do you want to go to a mall that is centered around kids, as well as for adults alike? Fazbear Entertainment is proud to announce the Freddy Fazbears Mega Pizzaplex. Not only that it's a pizzeria, it's also a mall. With our cutting-edge technology, as well as reused software, our animatronics can access your personal profile. This is to ensure that no criminals will enter our establishment. Due to our past history of traumatic events, we can assure you that those who were held responsible are no longer with us.
Look, we're like 15 minutes from closing and some kid is sneaking around backstage. If you see anything, notify me immediately.
The loss of privacy, strangers reading your files, reading your images, reading your mind.
I thought this was supposed to be the most advanced security system on the planet. We don't have a day.
Fazbear Entertainment is committed to family fun and above all, safety. They've spent a small fortune on these new animatronics. Facial recognition
one often repeated, especially at Freddy's Pizzeria, or Blizzard Entertainment, or anywhere else, is that we must give up a little bit of our freedoms for the convenience and protection. But the freedoms we give up is real and known, but unknown, such as the far left, like the Albanese government, or ASIO, or artificial intelligence, are the true nature of protection we receive in return, such as extreme leftism of surveillance, or being constantly attacked by the extreme leftist or their counterculture. Counterculture from hackers, authoritarians, governments, cyber leftists, always scam and target white individuals, targeting their minds. This is becoming even worse than escaping from being controlled by the left has become impossible to do. We try to avoid being mind controlled, so we keep our inner thoughts of privacy. But after the pandemic lockdowns of 2021, we've seen, knew, and realized secret technologies that attracted AI into our minds, claiming for our benefits and safety. That is the unknown part. True nature being protection we receive in return, being stalked on by artificial intelligence, into becoming part of the machine left. Check out Patreon and Ko-fi and view the secrets uncensored. And yes, the WHO, United Nations, and the media, especially YouTube's, are covering it all up with the excuse of pissing on the moon. I blew up the moon! We knew the surveillances had extended beyond the ranges of the cameras, with voices in our heads, and nanobots are controlling people's minds into divisive wokeism, such as the pro-Palestinians, the anti-white propaganda, the black demon ceremonial Satanism, which would lead to satanic rituals, or becoming woke slaves for the three fingers or the 3 sixes. Whether it's home, public bathrooms, swimming areas, swimming pools, in town, or in bed, AI and their woke left ideologies will always find you. Hard left surveillance never ends. AI and their radical leftism won't stop finding you or knowing your secret thoughts. They can automatically send them to the thought police, and they can have you arrested.
Imagine walking down the street, minding your own business, saying nothing, doing nothing, just silently reflecting or praying in your own head. Now imagine being approached by the police, questioned, and even arrested for it. Sounds dystopian, doesn't it? But this is not a scene from a novel or a movie. This is real life in modern-day Britain. Recently, a shocking case has emerged where British police have reportedly intimidated and even arrested individuals for what? Silently praying in their heads. Yes, you heard that right. Silently praying. The case revolves around so-called buffer zones established around abortion clinics. These zones were designed to prevent harassment or intimidation of women seeking services, but now it appears they're being used to police even silent acts of thought or prayer.
Are you protesting?
No.
Are you here to pray for the lives of unborn children?
As I've mentioned to one of your colleagues before, I think that's a little bit of a leading question. No, I'm not, actually, today.
Can your actions be carried out elsewhere?
All these radical but alien woke attacks and their racial attack on white lives, on white humans, are too hard to ignore. Caused by these far left-wing nut jobs, can be enough for white lives to say, to hell with the hard left system, white lives need to matter, white lives need to revolt. But how? Already there are few right-wing resistant members, right-wing groups so far, and right-wing conservatives, plotting to take down First Nation diversity of Robotnik's cyber-left order and the cyber-left society within.
There are thought criminals who maintain that the resistance is not real. Believe me, Winston, it is very real. Perhaps you're not familiar with how it operates.
I'm attentive to the news.
Indeed. And perhaps you imagine a huge network of conspirators prepared to commit any atrocity to demoralize and weaken the order of our society. The reality is infinitely more subtle.
Political conservatives and white mortals are all part of an animal Goldstein. People like conservative Trump-based supporters, One Nation conservatives from all coloured infidel backgrounds, as well as a former leftist who had enough of the hard left system.
If Goldstein himself fell into the hands of the thought police, he could not give them a list of his agents. Such a list does not exist. They are not an organization in the sense we know. Nothing holds it together but an idea.
There is no possibility of change in their lifetime. In the face of the thought police, they cannot act collectively. Individually, they cheat, forge, blackmail, corrupt children in the name of spreading knowledge from generation to generation.
All of right-wing mortals can spread knowledge, making them think to themselves, until...
In 1,000 years.
Until liberation, when the correct time is right to strike into the heart of the deep left state.
It's just as well to understand these things right at the beginning. You understand you'll be fighting in the dark. You'll receive orders and obey them without knowing why. Sooner or later you'll be caught and tortured and you will die. You will never know whether your work has served a single good purpose. We and you now are the dead. Our only true life is in the future. 1,000 years away, perhaps. But if in that 1,000 years we extend the frontiers of sanity even a little, we shall have done well. You have a hiding place?
Yes, in the old quarter, a room over an antique shop. The proprietor is called Charrington.
That will do for the moment. Later, we shall make other arrangements. Give you more definite instructions. Now it is time for you to leave.
Then we are accepted?
Yes, you are accepted.
But no matter how hard right-wing mortals tried to succeed, or tried to resist against the hard left, we realised and foreseen what happened in 2019, with ASIO kidnapping right-wing mortals and individuals and converting them into hard leftists, with military Skynet guidance of AI.
Identify those who can conduct harm and have them dealt with.
There is and always a danger that our left-wing sympathisers and radical leftists and authoritarian spies, such as Mr. Charrington, can infiltrate right-wing resistance and betray them to the hard-left authoritarians of the deep state. Even the 100-year-old colonial coral-like glass paperweight has been destroyed, smashed to the fireplace by the thought police. One of the last white colonial heritage Winston ever sees, as he was being dealt with and taken to the Ministry of Love. Over 24 million surveillance cameras have been sold and installed worldwide, and that's a modest estimate. That includes China, Russia, United States, Australia. Everywhere on Earth, surveillance cameras were installed worldwide. As the population grows out of control, and a huge increasement of black alienists, and a huge installment of radical leftists, so does surveillance cameras and monitoring technology. A vast, silent system of surveillance and computerized control. All powered up, right now, watching for you at the moment. Even millions of security cameras, facial recognition technology, eerie robots, and high glitch-based advanced AI mimics. Our lives remain mostly private by meditation of anti-mind control and covered disguised outfits such as face masks, glasses, and hoodie coats, so that we can hide in plain sight. Compare the face mask, glasses, and hoodie coats to the spare Freddy head mask, to blend in and not to be detected by the toy animatronics. Surveillances and hard left mind control technologies are becoming much advanced too far that surveillance has a mind of its own. A huge increasement of hard left surveillances is a huge flaw in Orwell's concept of the two-way telescreen. Who would watch the watchers and who would watch them watching? In 1984, people watch people. That, however, is changing. Thanks to computers, animatronics, AI robotics are already recognizing human faces in a primitive way.
What is it? I can't do it! I can't flashlight! Put it on! No, not that! I didn't even see Chica coming! And that's not a joke for the internet to enjoy.
Don't mind about FNAF 2, but you can see that gamers are being most likely being facial recognitioned by toy animatronics. And you can see Markiplier being, how can I say, all scared, all panicked, like a scaredy cat. Scared, frightened by animatronics, just like Toy Chica, or Toy Bonnie, or Toy Freddy, or Mangle hanging up like a spider! A spider like creepy crawly surveillance tool! as well as with animatronics. Yeah, I'm occupied. Saying they no, like he's voting no to the voice, and someone just jumps up saying yes. Like Albanese saying, no, I voted no.
Don't read too much into that. That didn't mean anything. What are you trying to say?
This is all because of advanced AI technology, animatronics, artificial intelligence, and robotics, already recognizing human faces in a primitive way. Each computer can hold up to as many gigabytes manufactured or programmed to build, and sometimes most data and informations, as silicon boards become brighter and brainier by the day.
By 2020, $1,000 of computation will be equal to the computational capacity of the human brain, which I estimate at about 100 billion neurons. By 2030, $1 of computation will equal the computing capacity of the human brain. Now that's a necessary but not sufficient condition to create computers or non-biological intelligence equal to human intelligence.
Please remain in your vehicle.
Who will be watching the watchers? Watching the watchers? Watching us. Quite possibly by non-biological intelligence. Presumably, a biological mind human remain in control of the central processing. Presumably, governments, technologies of keeping people safe. But is that good news? And the police allowing pro-Palestinian supporters to go out of control because Australia's under Islamic occupation. Keeping Australians safe and controlled. Was that good news? Obviously not. You'll have to wait until the next episode. So here are some simple points. In 1984, people of the left watched People. During the last 4 years, that had changed, thanks to the huge increasement of artificial intelligence and the development of cyber leftism, hackers, AI, robots, and left-wing machines, all part of left-wing surveillances, watching people even through AI mind control. Charrington, who lures Winston into a special trap, to his trap room upstairs, with a hidden telescreen behind the old picture frame. The way that Charrington was disguised as an old white man of the proletarians, luring corrupt but racist-based party members like Winston and Julia to a room upstairs, before they were caught when time was right. This was one of the ideas that inspired Scott Cawthon to theorize and put it into similar result of William Afton luring the 5 white racist children to the back room behind a pizzeria in the FNAF timeline of June 1985, before having their racist bodies stuffed into animatronics so they can rot as racist Nazi mortals. Because of their racism, they needed to be stuffed in animatronics to remove their racism, so Afton claims. That led to Afton being the Stalinist that had been kicked out of the pizzeria by Henry Emily. Unaware until 1987, Afton then noticed that the animatronics were withered and possessed by the fascist souls of the missing children. Between those two crossovers, you can tell the difference of luring their prey into where they want to pounce on them brutally. Another key point is surveillances and loss of privacy, especially after World War II. From 1945 to 1948, during the denazification, was again surveillances. In the Western world was gun control, police, military police, inspectors, and search warrants. In the Soviet-occupied zones or communist bloc countries, it was again gun control, police, military police, police spies, with a secret NKVD KGB technology, hidden microphones, and wiretaps. All those are what led to denazification, which led to genociding the Nazis and the Nazi culture after World War II. This was an Orwellian idea that is happening towards this day. We've seen something like this to Germany after World War II. The denazification in the West is what caused the existence of the Red Army faction in West Germany. And this denazification is to erase culture from existence and everyone's privacy using a denazification against humanity. So, if you denazify someone, you deprivatize them and the people around them, not to mention the entire communities or suburbs. If you then deprivatize the communities and entire suburbs, you maintain surveillances at a high robotic rate. And if you do that, you have AI stalking on everyone and everyone's minds, even in private locations. And when that happens, it makes artificial intelligence self-aware, and AI will become greedier on more resources it chooses to hook into. AI will be on the verge to have access to everyone's thoughts, their privacy, their data, and their privacy, even in their sleep. Surveillance will have a big impact on human thoughts, which will obviously lead to mind control and extremely radical leftism, as AI, in its radical left-wing form, becomes self-aware, and its racial but demonic attack on white lives can even spark World War III. People and conservatives try to stop this anti-white propaganda and try to stop AI from making racial attack on white lives. But doing that when AI becomes self-aware, artificial intelligence retaliates by demonizing an attack on Russia, China, Iran, North Korea. So Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea can demonize the West by firing nuclear missiles towards the whole Western world. World War III. Cyber-left surveillance will be and still maintained by artificial intelligence, even through re-education, which leads to voices in people's heads, leading to possessing them into cyber-left Portugism of re-educational mind control. Tune in next week where I'll be discussing about FNAF Help Wanted First, re-education program towards radical leftism, and what governments of the hard left want that interested them, and I know you have been waiting patiently for it, especially at the Ministry of Love. Okay. So... Okay. Whoa!
Time to play!
What? What? Oh! Okay, so let's start. This is a jigsaw puzzle, so I have to work my way around and finish up in the middle. Oh, we can do it automatically, but ooh. Corners. What the hell is that? What the hell is that? What? That's the van, and wow, 4625. Is that? Hello? Hello? Wow! Hello? Masks. The mask gift shop. Wow. And so do I to 4? Oh, no. 6, 2. What if I type 1998? Okay. 4, 6, 2. Whoa! Oh, hello! Oh, look! Is that? I know what happened. I got a bit confused and stuttered. Oh! unexpected ending part. What is that, the Mexes? I just noticed the Mexes from the series 2 of FNAF ruined, all being ruined by the AI mind control of AI and the cyber leftism. Why is a mimic trying to lure our minds into yesterday? We voted no to make sure we don't get divided into the mimic. No to that mimic. Mimic wants to divide us. Now we're realizing the unexpected new series next year will be the secrets of the mimic. Automatons of the circus was inspiration of the new FNAF, the secrets of the mimic. Help wanted to the secrets of the cyber Leslie special of the 5 Nights at Freddy. Okay, so friends and family and support. Okay, tune next week where I'll be discovering, where I'll be explaining to you the secrets of left-wing indoctrinations and left-wing re-education programs. Okay. Is that it? Try that again because... Okay, so... Ow. Okay. Okay. 4, 6... Whoa! Oh my god! Whoa! Hello there! Ah! Oh my god! No! And there it goes. The Mexes. Who's driving that van, by the way? Okay, and back to the credits again. Okay, let's continue on and fast forward this, please. Okay, that is really a scary mystery. I thought that was going to be the exit door to the street. Right. Well, that was really a blast. Especially the blast of the Mimic. The secrets of the Mimic. The gift shop, the mask shows, don't think about the Jim Carrey mask sort of guy. Look, we did not know this update had happened or when it actually happened, but it happened during this week. You know what I meant? We were about to do a repeat of one of the levels, and unexpectedly, we ended up coming across this FNAF puzzle piece that was inserted into FNAF Help 1 and 2. Then the secrets of a Mimic. It seems like that next year will be Series 4. But we've still got 2 episodes to go before the new year. And yes, Merry Christmas, by the way. We've still got to know the theories of cyber-left conversion and left-wing radicalizations of leftism, which also includes how human values shifted by leftism, and also Ministry of Love. Those are actually the next episode next week coming up. and also the future of AI and what damage artificial intelligence will do on humanity and white lives. So, about to do repeated levels, but we're now resuming back to 2 levels per episode, which will be somewhere around next week. So, but just in case, I'm doing repeated levels to see if there are any prizes or trophies I have missed. Again, where are your questions? Where are your comments? Wake up to yourselves and realize the truth that I'm offering you. And I know you're waiting patiently for the theory of what the hard left elites want. And that will be explained and theorized next week. Especially the Ministry of Love, with an Orwellian theme and a resemblance of William Afton in a digital computerized form, also known as Glitch Trap, along with the dangers of hard left conversions. I can't answer your questions if you're not sending me your questions or any comments, so please comment down below if you can, or my Facebook account, or on Twitter. Comment your questions and I'll answer them in the next video or so, or at the end of the series. And please support me on Patreon, Ko-fi, make a donation on PayPal, as well as coffee donation, which I found in the description box below. Again, if you want to know the secrets of the left-wing leaders, or what AI doesn't want you to know about, then become a member on Patreon for only $5 a month, and view them uncensored. And yes, $5 in Australian dollars, not USD. Or you can actually buy them on Ko-fi, so you can download them, read them, view them, and watch them uncensored. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video and want to see more, then click on the like button there, share this video outwards, knock on the subscribe button, and ring that little bell right there, notifications there. And comment below, if you can, hashtag exit the matrix. And a huge shout out for all 1984 and 1984 lore for sharing us their theories of George Orwell's 1984. Next week we're going to learn the dangers of hard left conversions and the law of Help Wanted the First, featuring the series of Vanessa into Madness, and how Vanessa became a virtual signaling cyberleft hacker, part of the ASIO virus, Project Golden Finger Rabbit, and how she became the ASIO monster Vanny, and what goes on inside the Ministry of Love. The place of no darkness is what we're seeing as we're coming closer and closer towards that room. So thanks again for watching. We're going to be back next week. Good night!
I've got a job to do here, so why does it feel so wrong to interfere? What if I disappear? Whatever happens, it's not worth my career. Taking back past choices that